Yo guys, what is up? Welcome back to another video. We'll walk and talk. Got D-Mac behind the camera. In today for a push session. So this is my first push session of the week, which is my bigger push session, I suppose. Going to keep it somewhat raw. Going to show you all sets, all reps, give you whatever tips I can. Just a good old-fashioned chest pump, bit of a physique update at the end. So like, subscribe, comment, and we'll catch you in the gym. There he is. Oh, phew. So just going to give you a quick run through of today's session. We're starting off with a crucifix raise where we have 3 sets there. We're then on to our incline Atlantis press, 2 sets there, followed by 2 sets on the kind of flat / low incline prime press. Then 3 sets on a cable fly. We have bicep, tricep, and then we have the prime lateral raise to finish off. So this is predominantly a chest focused push session. I've already kind of ran through my shoulder focused push session on my video when I was training with my client Anthony. So if you want to see that, then definitely go back and have a look at that. Although that was recorded back home in Nina, so there is a bit of a difference. I'll make sure I record my shoulder focused push session in here for you as well over the next few weeks. So going to do a bit of warming up now, a bit of kind of external rotation from my rotator cuff, as that is something that I struggle with a lot. So if you do have any niggles or injuries, just spend 5-10 minutes prior to every session getting your head in the zone, listening to some music, getting yourself prepared for what's to come, and just kind of warming up any kind of niggles that you do have. Right, so 3 sets done there on the crucifix. With the crucifix raise, a few things that I'm thinking about is almost creating a Y. Okay, so rather than a lateral that comes directly away, we're kind of creating a Y up overhead. That's why crucifix raise can also be known as a Y raise. So creating that Y kind of pattern with your arms, you want to go through some external rotation up at the top. All right.
One there, another one there.
Up. Yup. Using the season maze with the sin again. Yo guys, so you pretty much just saw me warm up my top set now on the incline Atlantis. This is probably my heaviest press of the day, followed by the low incline on the prime press, but this is probably the main press of the day, the one that I'm chasing, the one that I want to improve the most. So we didn't waste much time in the warm-up. We warmed up, okay, plate by plate. We added 4 plates and then when we got to 4 plates, we added on 10 and the 2.5 for my working set. Okay, so 2-3 reps for each set for the warm-up. Nothing hectic, no wasting energy, just getting in, getting the feel for it. Feeling quite strong at the moment now as well, so hopefully I can press this for at least 10. I'll be happy with 10 clean reps on this, and then we can progress it next week. So time to get on to business. Oh, I forgot something. So just placed a little foam block here just to help me with the first rep. Obviously in that position is where you are your weakest, so just an initial kind of press up or a little bit of a help to get the first one up, rather than taking a spot of someone. So that's why they are there. Otherwise I'll be in a pretty compromised position back there. Not really where I naturally want to go in terms of kind of where my range allows me. I'm probably just going to put my shoulder in a vulnerable position. So just be smart, train smart. Just there for the first rep. You don't have to count it if you don't want to. Give me another one. Fuck. So I didn't quite get what I wanted on my top set. 9 reps, but there were 9 clean reps. So as a whole, I'm happy enough with that. It is matched numbers from last week. But as a whole, the set was pretty tidy, so I'm happy enough with that. Not every week you're going to take progression in terms of numbers. Now, on my back offset, I am up 2.5 kg on both sides. Last week we got 3 plates and a 5 for 15, so now we have 3 plates and 7.5 per side. So let's see what we can get here. Would like to hit something close to the 15 mark, if I'm being completely honest here. I'm feeling somewhat good, feeling somewhat strong, powerful, so I want to put it into work, put it into showcase it. I want to showcase it for you guys. But little bitch don't ask for pictures. Do this thing for business. All right. Ooh. Right, as a whole, not too bad. 14 reps, minus 1, plus 2.5 kg per side, so 55 kilo increase as a whole, minus 1 rep. We'll definitely take that 100%. So you will notice one thing on both of these pressing movements when I failed, and I'll explain that when I go on to my next movement and how they both kind of balance each other out. So stay tuned. Very cool. Right guys, so on to my second pretty much big press of the day, which is the flat prime press. Now I say a flat prime press, I have it at a small incline, really shallow incline, just because a complete flat press, to be honest, isn't really the best for me in terms of shoulders. And also if we can get any bit of incline in there, you know, and include any kind of part of the upper pec, then why not, you know what I mean? So that's where, you know, everyone needs a bigger top line. So that's why I have it like this. You can see the setup here as well. So first of all, this half foam roller there underneath my head, otherwise my head would be propped forward, I have more support on my neck. Secondly, what you're probably asking about is the plates and the reasoning for that, okay? So my top set, we had 50 kilos on the top pin, we'll call it, just to make it easy, and we had 20 kilos on the middle pin. Bottom pin is empty. So when you go back to our Atlantis press, that gets really fucking hard in the shortened range, okay? So when you're pressing and when you're contracting your pec, when you're getting to the top of that movement, that's when that gets the heaviest, okay? Now what this allows us to do is it allows us to set the resistance profile to match the strength profile of kind of our pec and kind of where we're at within the session. So what I have done now is the bottom pin is empty. That's for the shortened range. We've already completely taxed the shortened range, so I have that empty for this set. I have 20 kilos on the mid pin, and then I have majority up here on the lengthened, where we're still very strong. So we have 50 kilos up in the lengthened, 20 in the mid. This machine and equipment like this, which is state of the art, it allows us to pick and choose, I suppose, what part of the pec we want to work, and depending kind of on our session, we can place it in to be a bit more optimal for us in terms of kind of bringing the pec to a complete failure. So if we were to do this as a first movement rather than doing your Atlantis press, likelihood is you'd have, you know, I suppose majority in the middle pin and even a small bit in the shortened pin. But because I've already taxed my shortened range and that's pretty fried, I can now work my mid and lengthen range. So top set we had, as I said, 20 in the middle, 50 on the top, 8 reps. On the back off set, all we're going to do is we're just going to have 50 kilos up here on the top pin, and we're going to have both other pins empty, and it's completely work the lengthening range now. Ooh. Right, so that is 14 reps again today, max reps once again on both top set and back off set, which is honestly a pain in the arse. Not what I want to be dealing with right now, but it is what it is. And also correction, 55 kilos on the top of this, not 50, I know I mentioned that earlier. But we'll clean this up now and move on to our next movement, which is going to be a pec deck. Right, so on to our fourth movement today. So on to our chest fly. So we have had one crucifix raise for delts, we've had 2 presses for our chest, and now we're on to a fly as well. So this is pretty much the last of our chest work. I would personally either put a fly at the end of your chest work, so after you do your heavy pressing, then do your flies, or alternatively you can put it in front of your pressing and use it more of like an activation work as well and getting that pec short. It's kind of, you know, they both work, you know what I mean? There's more than one way to skin a cat. Don't get too fixated up on one idea. Maybe if you have 2 push days across the week, maybe you could fly before you press once, and then on the second push day you can press before you fly. Really not something that you need to get too caught up on. Just running through the setup then of this fly. So first of all, you see I have a half forward roller in behind my back. That's just going to allow me to get a bit more range, allow my scapula to kind of wrap around that a bit more naturally as well. Then we have the D handles, which we will place over the regular handles. So for me, I do get a small bit of wrist pain, that's why I wear my wraps, and also elbow pain. So not really the best joints in the world, but we're going to use the D handle here, just a bit more kind of free motion at the wrist, take a bit of the strain off it as well. You know, your wrist wants to move around, it doesn't want to be locked in one position the whole time. So I've just found these quite helpful. The setup here as well, we also have, because it is a prime piece of equipment, we can then again work in the different ranges, similar to what I explained on the last chest press. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start from range number 1, which is just mid, and then we're going to go from 1 to 5 to 3, and that's going to be mid and lengthened, and then all lengthened, and that's going to be the end of our chest work for the day. So we're going to jump in here on set number 1. I'm going to run through this 3 sets total. What I'm thinking about doing as well, the most important thing is I'm thinking about driving my biceps into my pecs, getting them elbows straight out in front of me, trying to get your elbows to touch off each other, and then your pecs fully contracted. What I'm not doing is I'm not going to compensate by rounding my shoulders to get my hands to meet each other, because all that's going to do is internally rotate the shoulder, and then it's going to be a shoulder fly. So always retract scapula, shoulders back and down, drive biceps into the side of your pecs, try to get your elbows to touch off each other in the middle. You can't go any further because my biceps now on my pec, and that's it, your pec is fully contracted. Congratulations, you have completed your first pec fly. You're on the road to big boobies. I'm overdoing dose, I'm overly stressed to wear my hat low because I'm known to the feds. So +1 rep there on last week. My fucking chest is pretty taxed already, I won't lie to you. I mentioned it before, but I'm hitting chest 3 times across the week. So hit it on Sunday, I rested yesterday, today's Tuesday, I'm hitting it again. So it does take a lot of volume and it does catch up with me. But it can take it, to be honest. Like, I have a decent enough chest as well. I go in and they just go in. I'm Bugsy Malone, the wickedest thing. Right, so on to the arm work for today. We have a single arm preacher curl and then we just have a single arm tricep push down, both prime pieces of equipment again. So I'm kind of repeating myself here when it comes to just how we can use the prime equipment, but again, we're just going to run through the settings. We're going to go 4, 1 and 5. We're going to go shortened, mid and then lengthened in terms of biceps, and we're going to do pretty much the same as well. As today is, as I said, predominantly chest focus session, just one movement for both biceps and tricep in terms of isolation. Anyways, I'm going to get stuck into this. I say I'm probably the only fitness YouTuber that listens, if I am a fitness YouTuber, if I can call myself that listens to MC Lynchy in the gym. And I'm not talking about MC Lynchy, you know, in terms of like his old MCs. I'm talking about like his freestyles and stuff on SoundCloud, which probably none of you have heard, but they do slap, trust me. And it's not really MC, it's like rapping, but it's good. I'm listening to You Ain't Listening freestyle. Right, so I've explained multiple times here in terms of kind of the setup of a preacher curl and kind of what we're looking for. The most important thing is going to be elbow in line with this, which is the pivot point, okay? Getting that in line, shoulder, elbow and wrist all in one straight line, which is called effective joint stacking. And all you're doing then is just going to curl straight up to your bicep, or up to your shoulder, should I say, pinky to shoulder. Man, get ready to run. My man got 8 years for having a brick in that gun. So swing of the blade, Blythe to stop my ground. Nothing wasn't me that night, cause I wouldn't go down. Knock out this mic then. Right, so 2 sets done there, on to our third and final set. Drop it down into set number 5. I will do a drop set after this set too. So 3 working sets and the last set followed with drop sets of 4 sets really in total. Just a quick way of accumulating a small more volume in a shorter time frame. As today is a long enough session as it is, and as I mentioned, my other push session is more of a delts and arm session. Small bit of chest volume in there, but predominantly shoulders and arms. So yeah, let's talk more arming. Right, so on to our tricep isolation work for today. So we have a prime tricep extension machine. Usually I don't really program tricep machines, or I personally don't get on well with tricep machines. It's as though they're very fixed and you can't really fit myself into the machine correctly. But this one is probably the best tricep exercise I've ever done. Maybe even the best tricep exercise I've ever done in terms of how I can actually feel it and how I can connect, and my results as well, to be honest. My transformation, I feel as though my triceps have actually come on a fair bit now. Probably doesn't do it any justice there in that lighting. So yeah, not really a big fan of tricep machines as a whole, but this one is a good one. 3 sets here, very similar again to the last one. Setting 4, setting 1, setting 5, shorten range, mid range, lengthen range. Just going to work through that, do a drop set at the end, and then we're on to our final movement. Alright, so on to the last movement of the day, which is going to be a lateral raise machine. I am pretty much repeating myself all session, but again we have the cam settings here on the prime piece. So what we're going to do is going to be a set in 5 for 2 sets, then we're going to do a drop set, and we're going to jump into set in 3 for that drop set. Alright, if you don't have equipment like this, it's not a reason to be disheartened. It's not something to get upset over. I obviously worked in my gyms back home for 6-7 years. I was training before I moved over here, and the reason I moved to Manchester was to have equipment like this. So this is my life, this is what I do, this is what I love and I look forward to every day. Obviously I'm going to move where that is. I'm going to bring myself to that place to be better and to want more and to try and improve my physique. That's my bread and butter, like that's what I live for. So don't get disheartened if you don't have machinery like this at home, especially if you're only training, you know, maybe a couple of years, even if it's like 4 or 5 years. If you really want, you can always get up and go. If the gym is your passion and that's your most, you know, what you're hungry for and what you desire for is bodybuilding, you can always chase that. But if you don't have machinery like this and you just have your standard machines or even cables, you can change it around, learn how to target the muscles in different ranges, in different resistance profiles. Even with a simple adjustment to a cable, you can go from challenging the shorten range. If it's set up at the bottom, if you bring the cable up to about hip height, you can go challenge the lengthen range. Very similar to what I'm doing here. So you don't need all this fancy equipment. It is great, but I built my physique off normal equipment, and you can too. Okay, so just learn movements, learn good form, learn how to manipulate machines, learn how to add bands if needed, or how to change the resistance profile of a movement before you jump the gun and you try and, you know, do all this kind of stuff, or say that you need to have this type of machinery.
Take it all off, man. Jocks in
glute spray.
Get the dick out.
That's Mike Erie in the background now. Anyone's listening, you think he's Mr. Professional.
Take it all off.
Just saying to Mike, my weight has been stalling for probably 8 days. I said, what day is today? Tuesday. Yeah, it's about 8 days. I was 97. I hit 96 on last Wednesday. Back up to 97s. Hit 96 again Sunday, and then back up to 97s. So I've kind of just been up and down between 96 and 97. But I feel leaner, so that's a plus. That's a plus. I'm going to do a few poses.
So you look fuller through the, like as in leaner, like through the delts and the chest arms. That'll actually be a nice shot, you know, if you had like another 5 kilos on you, like that actually would be a really strong.
That's what my front lat and my side chest are 2 of my primary shots. Oh, sorry. You're okay? Do you want to win? Yeah, we're great. Just bodybuilding things. Obviously, we feel a lot leaner when we say.
Yeah, like once you get that leaner.
Good.
And they're the ones for all of us, they're the exposing shots that we know we need that 10 kilos of muscle. I hate doing them.
Yo, so that's going to be it for another video. Myself and Miguel are walking back. So good session there, push session. That's pretty much a full rotation now of all my sessions up on YouTube. Actually, sorry, density will be the next session. That's up next week, which was actually recorded last week with a videographer. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Good